integrated marketing approach with search engine optimization and podcasts. Welcome to the Marketing Club. You already know that this is about to be a blast. Actually, wow. Thank you, Vizzy. This is really cool. So everything that you're seeing right now that I'm doing is integrated with artificial intelligence because I just created a picture right now with my VA, and my VA just gave me a nice image because I'm about to upload an episode that you'll be able to listen to, which I'm going to replay from here. So we're going to do it so well that it will be so exciting to actually see how this connection goes just from this is an integrated approach. I'm about to really do a quick test here because this is going to be one of those posts that you're like, okay, I see the integration and what we're actually trying to do here, because I talked about a Did You Know series brand, and I kind of wanted to talk about it more and bring it to your attention and show you how you can, build connections just from creating consistency in building the relationships online. So I was able to post this on LinkedIn, and I said, you know what, let me turn this into an actual LinkedIn podcast post, like from LinkedIn, and then I was like, let's see how this can go. And then I said, okay, let me decide to repost this. And when I reposted it, I said, okay, I'm going to repost this from Threads. And then when I repost it from Threads, that's when you can actually read the post. And then when you read the post from Threads, you can go back to the source and get to see exactly what I've been talking about. Because some companies you hear today were not companies that, were there before. And I talked about it on my podcast, which I'm about to release as I'm in this room. So the whole approach I'm doing right now is we're doing this in real time. That's what I mean. We're doing this in real time. What you're seeing right now is a result of what happened pretty much 15 minutes ago, because this topic was not a topic that I had prior to 15 minutes ago, because this topic came out of my website, work and play entertainment website, which is playinc.online. And what happened was I went to my website. This is how this all started. Let me just give you the background story, right? So this is what happened. So I went to my website and I went to the newsfeed section, because we have a newsfeed section where we're able to, write articles, share with you concepts, understand formulas and everything. So it's good to always, see what's going on there. So I decided, hey, let me ask my AI assistant to just give me pretty much 5 topics that I could use to, discuss a little bit deeper into the topics I've been talking about across my podcast the whole way. Literally, because we have about close to 85 episodes, not 85 episodes, 85 articles. We have about 375 plus episodes. So when you kind of do the numbers, they just stack on each other, because every episode is like a layer up from a podcast leading to a blog. So it really gives you a long-term, growth plan. So in this series, I said, okay, you know what? I want to start creating a series. I want to start doing something that, people can start to relate with and understand and say, okay, if this is how we're going to build a brand, then this is how we're going to, create sections that will allow people to understand, okay, this is a goal, this is the idea, and this is a plan. So if this is a plan, let's build on this plan and actually give people something to learn from. So I said, hey, let's talk about how to integrate SEO and podcasts. It's not hard. but it's also something that requires a lot of attention and requires a lot of delicacy in, submission to care and, all the good stuff. So I want to, ask you, and you think about this question when I'm asking this, when you think about marketing, what is your definition of marketing? Welcome, Chima. Welcome to the room. And I also see you as well, all of you in here. Thank you. Mahmoud, welcome to Clubhouse. I see you with the party hat. Welcome. I always see new party hats in here. Welcome to the room. Long Tony, Jennifer, CJ, Under, Big, Kenny, and Tanvi. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all. You're all welcome to the room. This is a great space. I'm doing this early in the morning because I may not have time again to do this, maybe till my next scheduled room later today. So I said, let me just come in here because it's a global app. We're about 348.6K members in this house alone. So I want to make sure that people that are also, maybe later in their day can also have an experience. And then I can come back later in the day for others who are still able to catch us, in the daytime. So I'll be here again in the next 5 hours. We're going to talk about podcast and SEO marketing. But today I wanted to kind of do an integration of the two. So yeah, welcome to the room. And if this is your first time, I also see you as well, Tanvi. If it's your first time with the ticket, please click the link above so you can be here, join the room, and don't miss out on any other rooms we have because we have amazing concepts for you. So yeah, I appreciate you for that and giving you a follow back too. Thanks for being here. Chioma, good morning. How are you? Welcome. Chioma, are you there?
I'm sorry, I was looking, I was looking for the app. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. How are
I'm
you?
great. How you feeling?
Great. I'm feeling great. I'm excited to hear the information and the concepts that you're going to share with us today. I hope everybody in the room is doing well. I want you guys to share with somebody that you know needs it, maybe some business owners, some people that are looking to break into business. I want you guys to share this with somebody, and let them know that we're in the room and we're talking about some stuff that they need to hear. So thank you, Favour, for having me.
Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Yeah, today's going to be a very interesting topic. I think also because of how this came out as far as the topic in itself, I said, hey, you know what, let's see if we can do something here and you know build along as we're creating this concept. So I said, you know what, let's see what we can do. And I thought about what topic to come with, and I said, you know what, if I come up with a topic, it has to make sense. Like the topic has to make sense. So I said, okay, let me ask my AI assistant to give me an answer to this question I'm asking. And the question I was asking is, let me actually go to that page because I left it open. Boom, right here. So I said, here, actually, that's what the AI told me. So I said, give me 5 solid BOFU topics. BOFU means bottom of funnel topics. So give me 5 solid BOFU topics from this page, which is my own page. So I literally scanned my whole page. We have about 80 plus articles plus. So I said, scan this whole page and then give me 5 BOFU topics that I can talk about on Clubhouse in an hour about SEO and podcasts. That's how this room was born. That's how this room came to be. That's the full transparency. And there were 5 topics. I'll tell you all the 5 topics that came from my AI assistant. And they are all heavy. All of them are heavy. I said I'll just choose the 5th one and then I'll come up the ladder with that. The first one, right, is welcome, Gemma. Good morning. Welcome to the room. The first one is Pinterest SEO strategies. That is something that I've actually been seeing so much that I've been watching. I'm like, a lot of people are trying to do Pinterest, like just sticking on the wall. And my AI is saying, discuss effective visual search techniques on Pinterest and how it can boost SEO strategies. You can refer to this article. And the article is referring me to is my article. So it's not even referring me to a ChatGPT article or an article that's generated. It's referring me back to my own article, right? For insights. The second one is email marketing success strategies. A lot of businesses have been asking me about email marketing and they need help with email marketing because they need to improve their email marketing and I've cracked the code because we get about 50% open rate, 15% click rate, with a 7,000 plus, audience size, consistently we're growing, about 3,000, on a consistent basis almost every other month because we're partners with SEMrush. So it's like, when you see the growth, I'm like, yeah, every email we send, it blows up. That's why I take my time. We don't send emails every time because we don't want to blow up your line. When we send one email, it's loaded with information. Even this link you see at the top here, I've not even sent an email out yet because I know when I send it, it's gone. So, and we have about 4 people that have already signed up. We have a limited size. So if I send it out to everyone, that thing is going to go. But I'm just using some time, giving y'all some time before it goes, because when we hit the cap, it's gone. So I've been doing this naturally on Clubhouse and audio. That's it, Clubhouse audio. So before it goes to email, take advantage of this information now. Click the link above, sign up, and get approved so that you can actually learn as a business owner how to save your time, save your money. And the tool I'm using is a tool I'm going to show you in this masterclass, in this workshop. So this is an integrated marketing approach. What you're experiencing right now is not just topic or me just talking. I'm showing you what I'm actually doing based on what I'm going to show you inside this masterclass. So right now, the integrated marketing approach that I'm giving you is I'm showing you a tool that I'll be using inside this workshop that I'm going to show you, in person so that you can see. And then when you see this, you're like, oh, okay, I see how this even got to Clubhouse. Because I'm on Clubhouse because I prompted my AI assistant to give me 5 topics about my website that I've been writing articles on, to give me insight on what people need in 5 questions or in 5 sequences. So email marketing is one of them. I already know that because it's reading the AI brain from how people interact with my website. It's not just giving me random ideas. These are high intellectual ideas that have come from me doing research and the company also doing research about my business, which is the AI company and the AI automation I've set. The third one, which is so big, is SEO keyword research roadmap, right? That's a big one because if you guys check my LinkedIn, right? I'm going to give you my link. There's a LinkedIn post I'm going to put in here. There we go. Boom. So I'm going to put this here. For those who want to connect with me on LinkedIn, please click the link in the chat. Yeah, I put the link in the chat. That's going to take you to the post I made an hour ago, which has turned into a podcast, which has gone live. And I'm going to be switching the link at the top so you guys can listen to the episode that is in form of a podcast, but it stemmed from a LinkedIn post. Like, I'm showing you how not intellectual, but integrated marketing approaches are when you intellectually coin and build a system that's operating at a stretch for your business, right? So a podcast is audio. So we're already here. That's check off the list. SEO checked off the list because I already have a podcast released and I'm going to play this episode for you while I'm not talking. This is going to be quite crazy. I'm going to be playing back an episode that I just released to my community 15 minutes ago before I showed up on Clubhouse, because our podcast, we don't play we're the top 3% global ranked, out of 4.2 million podcasts, according to podcastindex.org and listennotes.com, right? So I'm just telling you facts. So I said, okay, I'm going to publish this out. And then I used my AI assistant, another assistant, because we have about 12, right? So I used one of the other AI assistants and said, hey, give me an image. I just pasted the whole LinkedIn post, that LinkedIn post that you see. I pasted that LinkedIn post into the AI brain and I asked AI, give me an image that's going to emulate what I've just explained in this quotation. And it gave me 2 pictures. I picked one and I had to kind of like refine it so I can get a better description. I liked the first one, but it was too Royal Rumble. It was too boxy. So I said, let me get a second one. And that gave me blue. And I was like, blue's trust, and trust is brand, and brand is excellence. So I said, boom, let me use that one. So I've published the episode. So it's gone live. Literally right now it's gone live. So I'm going to share the link with you. Once it goes live everywhere. And then when it goes live everywhere, it automatically shows up, in different sections, like on YouTube, on iHeart, on Pandora. So it pretty much just flies. So boom, I've just found it. It's loaded up. And the good thing about RSS feed is it doesn't take a while. It's like a faucet. Once you click on it, it's gone, it's gone. I just did this right now. Okay, here we go. Boom. So this is the episode I'm talking about. That image you see at the top is AI generated, and that came from my AI assistant. So everything you're seeing right now, when you're experiencing, is an artificially intelligent approach that I integrated with marketing for SEO and podcasting, because I want to know what people need as help and I want to connect with them. The fourth thing that I saw that the AI assistant told me is utilizing Clubhouse alternatives, right? Discuss the emergence of social audio visual apps. There are other platforms that I'm able to see and connect with, right? That are out there. So people are looking for Clubhouse alternatives. That's what it's telling me on my AI assistant is telling me that's what people are looking for. The fifth one is this topic: integrated marketing approach with SEO and podcasts, meaning that people want to know how to use podcasts correctly. They want to learn how to do podcasts correctly, but they also don't want to waste their time doing podcasts without direction. So what you just heard are 5 topics, including the one we're in live mode, in real time, off an AI assistant prompt. So the episode that you see at the top, Did You Know series, How Your Famous Brands First Started, that is an episode that I just released literally not too long ago. So it's going to go live. It's going to go throughout 113 countries. It's just going to spread out. When it goes, it goes. That's the thing about our podcast. It flies. And we're going to be 5 years, August 12th, 2024. So I'm so excited about what we're doing. We're going to do some giveaways. We're going to do some challenges. So if you want to be here, please click the link above and subscribe to the podcast so that you don't miss out on the emails you're going to get, because the emails we have are loaded. And there's these brands that first started. I'm going to talk about it, but I won't talk about it in real time. I'm going to actually play it back so that you can listen to the episode in real time at the top, so that you can have an experience of what it sounds like. So before I go any further, Chioma, would you like to say anything? And, let us know what you're thinking.
I'm curious to know how some of these brands got started, because I think one of the blessings in owning a business and being a business owner is to be able to hear people's journey on how they got started. And some of the struggles that they overcame and some of the things that they had to face. I think it was Walt Disney who was saying that he heard no so many times before his brand finally succeeded. So just to know how these companies first started, is definitely going to be an eye opener.
100%. I agree. I 100% agree. Thank you so much for that insight. So I'm going to play this back, and you're going to listen to my voice, but it's not me talking. I mean, it's me talking. It's me talking, but it's not me talking like the way I'm talking. So you're going to hear a playback from the podcast episode. It's 13 minutes. So as you're listening, and if you can't hear, please let me know so that I can turn up the volume. So here we go. And if you guys can hear this when you start hearing the sound, just give me a thumbs up so that I can make sure that you can hear it. And if you can't hear it, give me a thumbs down, because I'll be looking at the screen. So here we go. See you guys in the next 13 minutes. Okay. I'm excited about this topic. Did You Know series begins today. Happy Tuesday, y'all. And I'm so blessed and honored and thankful to Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, for helping us, get to this day. It's July 9th, and I was just scrolling through threads, and I was like, how am I going to kick off this Did You Know series? Because I want you guys to listen to this episode and always come back to it, because you probably never knew about what I'm about to tell you. I didn't know about it either. So how you're going to be surprised is how I was surprised. So I want you to share the same expression with me as I did by myself. So I don't want to do it by myself, So I'm coming here today to share with you some really cool stuff. Before I even get on Clubhouse in the next few minutes, I said, let me talk to you guys first. And, I want to talk to the world and I want to connect with you. Happy Taco Tuesday. For those who, love tacos, I do. Fajitas and all that good stuff. I love good food. I love cooking. I don't have time to cook all the time, but when I cook, I definitely throw down a good meal. So I want to talk about brand names and brands that started off. Like, how did brands start off? When we think about brands, the big brands we know today, all the big brands. I don't even have to mention them because I'm going to mention a couple of them right now. So these names are big. They are big because these names have volume, they have community, they have product, they have history, right? So the history I'm bringing to you today in this Did You Know series is going to be like a history class. And I might be doing it on every Tuesday. We'll see how it goes because I'm going to be doing business spotlights for businesses. So that's going to be a segment we're introducing. So please check out for that. Whenever you see a business spotlight as an episode, that is a business we are spotlighting, and we're also connecting them to the world. So this is something that definitely you'd love to check out, right? So yeah, and then Did You Know it's going to be something like this. So it's going to be very interesting. We're going to bring in some good fun into it. We're going to be 5 years, in a couple of days. So I'm really excited about this. So this is a big challenge, and we're actually going to pull out challenge, and we're going to see how this goes. This is going to be very exciting. I'm actually very excited about this mission, and we're going to achieve this mission together. So yeah, let's talk about these brand names. So I put this on LinkedIn, and shout out to 123 Statistics on Threads. So if you're on Threads, be on Threads. I've been on Threads for the past, I don't know, it's been a year now. We just celebrated a year, and I was the first 500,000, one of the first 500,000, I think like 350 or so, 60, first 1,000, 100,000 to be on the platform. So I was there really early, right? So it's good to look at how brands build and where they are when they start, because 10 years from now, they're not the same brands they were before. Like, we're going to be 10 years in September, right? That's a decade. What we're doing now is not what we did then on our first year. So it's going to be interesting. I'll talk about that too. But today I want to focus on the brands and the brands we love, and the brands I think you would definitely be surprised to listen to. So here we go. Whew. I put this on LinkedIn, so follow me on LinkedIn as well. Favour Obasi-ike. Just check me out there on LinkedIn, and you also connected me to see this list as well. So I also gave the source. If you want to check the source, check the source. So, and then from the source, you can fact check the source too. So the first products of each company below. Did you know that these companies started off like this? Number one, IKEA. They started off with pens. Sony, right? Sony, right? Sony TV and all the good stuff. They started off as a rice cooker. Nokia, I don't know if it's Nokia or Nokia or Nokia. People call it different things, right? So, but I call it Nokia, right? That's what I remember. And they started off as toilet paper, right? Samsung started off as a grocery store. Just imagine if you're going to a Samsung grocery store. Just imagine that. Like, replace your favorite grocery store and put a Samsung logo on it. Just think about that for a second. That's wild. Lego started off as wooden toys. Nintendo started off as playing cards. Imagine Uno with Nintendo. That would be cool. I don't know if they would ever do like a retro Nintendo. I don't know. We'll see. Nike started off as track shoes. Lamborghini started off as a tractor. Like, imagine if you owned a tractor today and it was called Lamborghini. Would you enjoy that tractor? Yo, Colgate started off as soap and candles. LG started off as facial cream. Tiffany & Co. started off as stationery. Wow. Toyota started off as automatic loom. Google that. Amazon started off as online bookstore. Apple started off as Apple Computer One. So Apple was Apple with Apple. So, but it was still something different from what we have today, completely. There's so much now with Apple going on, and I can't wait for the new iOS as well. I'm in the iOS beta developer program, and I'm able to get like the new iOSs before they drop. So I'm able to test them and everything. So I'm excited about where we're going. Google started off as a search engine. Intel started off as a memory chip. BMW started off as an aircraft engine. Now, think about your BMW in your garage, in your driveway, on the road, next to your car, right? The one you're in. That was an aircraft engine first. So that's quite interesting. Canon camera, Coca-Cola syrup, Ford quadricycle. It's not even a bicycle, it's not even a tricycle, it's a quadricycle. Like, if you know what a quadricycle is, you gotta Google that for those who want to see what a quadricycle is. That's how Ford started, right? Harley Davidson, everybody loves Harley Davidson. Racer motorcycle. HP started off as an audio oscillator. Think about that. HP. Honda started off as a bicycle auxiliary engine. L'Oreal started off as hair dye. Renault, depending on how you say it in français. Je parle français un peu, so I speak a little bit of some French. I used to speak French from 4th grade, but if it's not your first language and you don't speak it all the time, you might lose it, but I still like to speak French once in a while. And they started off as a Renault, Voiturette 1CV. So you can Google that. And all this list is also in the description. So check the description, just to see what it is like. But you also want to listen to this episode, because when you really think about it, you're like, whoa, oh, okay, damn, how did this happen? So you start to actually get excited about what you're reading. And then when you listen to this episode, you're having an experience. Because, yeah, you can read this text and I can say, okay, I will give you 3 or 4. And then you have to come to listen to the rest in this episode. I'll give you everything so you can listen to everything too and have a full experience, because I want you to enjoy the experience on the podcast, right? Freely give, freely receive, right? So that's how we do it here. So Hoover started off as leather products. McDonald's started off as hot dogs. Pixar started off as an image computer. Nestle started off as baby formula. Now, think about baby formula from Nestle. Think about Nestle. I'm like, what? This is interesting, right? Wrigley started off as soap and baking powder. Now, out of all these, which one were you excited about the most to hear? Or which one were you surprised the most? Which one were you surprised the most to hear? Which one caught your attention the most? And there's a poll. If you're listening to this on Spotify, come on over to Spotify and listen to this episode if you're somewhere else, because I know this is a global audience. This is a global space. We're listened to in over 113 countries. So I don't take it for granted that you listen to me consistently without fail, and you learn something, and I bring people here and you're able to learn. So it's a blessing, and I thank you so much for being here. God bless you all. So, the moral of this story really is, and I put this on my LinkedIn, and I'll also put the LinkedIn post here, on podcast, so you can also tap in. I said, start early, grow fast. None of these companies, look at Nestle, for example, started their businesses we know today as the operations they started with. So you got to share this post, share this podcast with your community, share it with your loved ones, share it with people that you love, and tell them, hey, I know you're starting a business, but the business you're starting is not going to be the same business in 10 years, in 20 years, in 30, in 40, in 50, in 100 years. When your business is celebrating its 100th year in business, you'll be like, wow, look at all the lessons I've learned in your 10th year, in your first year. So your first month shouldn't be a problem, because you have a long way to go, but as you're growing, you're glowing. So don't give up. We are rolling out new episode segments, and I'm excited about this because I feel like just doing this alone is fun for me, and I think it's fun for you, because when you're listening to this episode, you're like, oh wow, I did not know that was a thing, so it changes everything, and I'm excited that you're able to listen to this. So please take this information, run with it, listen to these brands, talk to them, connect with us. If you want us to help you with your brand, connect with us. We have an international team. So, and we're 21 in total, including our 12 AI assistants and including myself. So if you do the math, you know how many people we are in general. Just the number of people, the number of, inner circle capabilities we have available for you. So I'm excited to work with you. So feel free to reach out to me. Our company email is info@playinc.online, info@playinc.online, and you can send an email, connect, say hi, and just let us know what you like about the podcast. And if you have any questions, any suggestions, feel free to let us know. And you can also click the links, within the description so that you can tap in, connect with us, get on a call so we can actually talk, and then we can talk about what you need. And before you know it, you're on board. So I can't wait to have you here. So thank you so much for having me. And by the way, I've been trying to do this for a long time. Before we wrap up, I know it's like, oh no, he's leaving. I'll be back. Let me say it like this. We are going to flood your podcast station channel. When you flood something to the point where it's like you're full to the brim? We're about to do that because right now we're borderline 375 to about 400 episodes out, and we want to drop another 100 episodes on you in the next. It's a challenge for us, and we want to actually do that challenge because we know that challenge is going to give us an uptick in traffic, an uptick in audience, and an uptick in engagement, and an uptick in relevance. We have a lot to tell you. We've invited a lot of people on this show, so I'm sure you've been wondering what's going on, what's happening. Yeah, we're having a big shift, so I'm excited that you're here. So thank you for listening, and have a wonderful Tuesday. I love you all. God bless you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode. We're going to roll out the next episode with some features. I'm going to do a business spotlight, and then you're going to hear some really cool stories. And there's also somebody as well I wanted to introduce you to. His name is John Clements. Amazing guy. We actually did an episode. You listen to it in the next 2 episodes. And if you want to work with him, please do. Amazing guy. And he'll help you really get to, what you need, especially as a business right now. So yeah, when you listen to that episode, tap in. I just wanted to give you a heads up. So we have a business spotlight from a company and a businessman who helps you with your cars, on spot. He's going to help you, in Houston, Texas, and in Texas in general, if you want to be able to connect with him or book in advance, So it's great that we're going to bring businesses to business light like this. So we're going to light tomorrow with today and start off like this. So thank you for listening, and God bless you. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. So what you just heard was about 13 minutes and 38 seconds of the link above. And I've just done an integrated marketing approach from LinkedIn. Actually, let me start over. From website to AI to to threads to LinkedIn to podcast, now to Clubhouse, all in one. And you've heard 2 topics: the integrated marketing approach and the Did You Know series that I put through Clubhouse into LinkedIn through threads. Now, and I just played this on the website. I didn't play this on a podcast player. I just played it off the website. That's just the link you see above. So you have to think about these brands and ask yourself, which one were you excited about the most? So I see Empress, Keith, and Liverpool's Finest. You came into a room. I didn't want to say anything until the episode was done. But what are your thoughts, Chema? What were you thinking as you're listening? And we'll pass it to you too as well, Keith and Liverpool's Finest.
Well, wow. A lot of the information that you shared about these brands that are so popular that we now know I didn't know a whole lot of this stuff. But also, when you look at how they first started and what they were first, kicking out to sell as products, it evolved. Either it evolved to maybe something that's in the same type of field, or either just changed totally and completely. So I was shocked to hear some of the things that you shared about these different brands. One of the ones, I forget which one, turned into facial cream, but it was just such a shock to me. I was like, what? Because this is not I don't believe that this was even a cosmetic brand or anything that referred to as that you would refer to as skincare or anything like that. But they used to sell facial cream, which was crazy. But yeah, it was amazing. It's great to see how businesses develop, and how they change over the years. And it's also crazy to also know that, like, what you start out as, you might evolve into something that's totally different. But the companies thought that that was the best move for their business. So they changed, or, they updated with the times. And I think as a business owner, it's important to know the times that you live in, and also, supply and demand. Like, what's in demand, at the current time, and do you have the skill set, the production capabilities to be able to produce, what is in demand. So it was very knowledgeable, and I really enjoyed listening, and a lot of stuff shocked me. So thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, the company's LG. LG started off as facial cream. It's crazy. When I hear this, I'm like, how? How did y'all start like that? And that means your NAICS codes had to change. You had to change your codes. Because with business, all those codes have to, they have to be relevant to your industry. So when I think about the whole thing, the trademark, I'm like, wow, people really went in on these things. But it's good practice, it's good business, and it's also good ethics to also see like where people start from. So thank you so much for that.
But I
Key.
also wonder, sorry, I wonder how that meeting went. Like, hey guys, I know we started out as facial cream, but hear me out. I want to evolve this into something else. We want to go into electronics. Like, what?
Yeah, that's wild. It's wild to me. I feel like seeing that is already like you can change your business from anything to anything. And it's just a matter of time. And when it does, people will be like, oh, wow, you started off like that? That means I can start off like this. That's just motivation for people, because I just felt like some people are just fed up with their businesses. They don't know what to do. They feel like they're stuck. And yet you have a whole industry to tap into. Like, there's so many categories you can fall into that can really elevate your brand as a business. One product can take your business to the next level just because you had it out there. So that's exciting. Thank you so much for that, Chama. Keith, good morning. We'd love to hear from you.
Good morning. Didn't catch the whole podcast because I was making myself breakfast, but I did catch the tail end. And to the point of evolving and changing, people are often shocked to hear that PayPal didn't start out in that business. It was actually an endeavor to create an app for the Palm Pilot, and they just happened to have a security layer in it that everybody kept asking about for secure transactions, monetary transactions. And they got so much inquiry into it, they finally ditched the app and went down the path of creating PayPal. The rest is history. So be open to change and evolution of your brand and products, and also be patient. One of the things I observed recently, or actually been probably maybe a decade or more of it, is everybody wants to be an instant millionaire. And they don't realize most millionaires took on average 22 years to make their first million. So be patient, be tenacious, and if you provide value, the rest will fall in place.
I agree with that 100%. I feel like our generation, we're like a microwave, or this generation is like, we want everything now. We want to be a millionaire tomorrow, yesterday actually, because it's like, why are we waiting? What's the rush? Why are we wasting time? Yet we have so much. We're looking at these millionaires and billionaires in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s. If you look at the benchmark, or just put a pie chart and just use 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s in terms of age brackets, and then put a pie chart and see which ones are millionaires, which ones are billionaires, you'll see that like we have a lot of time, but we also don't have a lot of time either. But the time that we have is enough for us to create the moments that we can outlive for a lifetime. So just being in the space of connecting with people is big, because that's where relationships start. That's where relationships are formed. And that's where relationships are extended. So this is so good. Thank you, Keith, for that. Liverpool's finest, we'd love to hear from you. Good morning or good afternoon.
Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Yeah, it's a very, very interesting topic because it's a very interesting topic because I think people don't really understand the importance of what they call integration when it comes to marketing and things like that. So it's very, very important because in order for you to kind of like grow your brand and stuff, you have to try and go through different various channels and things like that. So it's very, very important as well. And I know that like talking with your last topic that you had yesterday with like podcasting and stuff, that's one of the ways that some businesses may try expand their businesses is through podcasting and things like that, because obviously like if you're but one thing that is very very good that is very useful about podcasting is that it's portable, so it's not something that it's something that you can do when you're literally driving to work, or it's something that you can actually do when you're at home and things like that. And it's very convenient for a lot of people, a lot of your audience that you're trying to approach as well. But it's also very important as well to also keep in mind of your target audience as well and what they actually want, because it's very, very important, because you can have the best marketing strategy, you can have the best integrated marketing approach, but if it's not something that is not going to reach your audience, then it's not the best at all, because you're just going to end up wasting a whole load of money on this big marketing approach, this big marketing strategy, and you're not getting enough sales for your company as well. So it's very, very important as well to always keep in mind of your target audience, and keep in mind of your do a lot of market research on your particular target audience, because obviously they are always constantly changing in the business climate, and that's very, very important as well. So that's what I will say. But over to you, Favour.
No, that's big. I appreciate that share. We have to kind of think about the way we process things, how we start things, and where we go with things, so that when we look at things from a year from now, we can actually be thankful for the approach and how we were able to actually grow. Connecting with people is easy, but it's also hard too, because the connection has to last. You can connect with something, you can have a reaction, but is that reaction going to last for a long time? It's for a short time. So there's a short fuse that we have to think about and understand, like, where do we fall in? So I wanted to, use this example to show you that it's all integrated in marketing. And this is the perfect approach, because this title, I didn't change a word. This title came out exactly the way it did from AI. I prompted the AI tool and I asked, I need these topics. And the only thing I added to this title were emojis. Everything else was 100% AI responsive. And it came from a page that I sourced, which is where my newsfeed is. So it picked out all the topics, and I asked for 5 topics. So when I got these 5 topics, Pinterest SEO strategies, email marketing success strategies, SEO keyword research roadmap, and utilizing Clubhouse alternatives, and integrated marketing approach with SEO and podcasts, this already tells me that these are the 5 important things our business can handle for this 10th year, which already we're doing. But this is like a good way to even show that it does work, because AI kind of simplifies the format for you, right? It does the thinking for you. I mean, you need to think through it. You need to give it something to think about, but the thinking process, the more complex your thinking is, the more complex the results you get are. If that makes sense. So if your IQ, your EQ is really high, and you can, your SQ, your AQ, and you can put all those, quotients into what you're creating as far as content, it's quality content, it's quality delivery, it's quality distribution. You're able to get quality feedback. And that feedback you can get can quantify more quality for you long term, because you're actually pointing from a source that has qualitative analysis that's driven. So these 5 are 5 specific areas that we can tackle, because people need help with email marketing. We can help you with that. Our email marketing success rates have been huge. Like we always see, and one thing I learned, which I always do testing, people don't test with their emails. When people send an email, oh, we just sent an email to our audience. You sent an email, but you didn't test the email. And testing, I don't mean like sending it to yourself and testing to see whether it works. That is the cosmetics, the typos, the links, make sure they're working. Yes, you got to test that. That is for sure, because you don't want to send an email to your audience and you have a typo, or you have grammatical errors, or you have broken links. That's the worst thing you can ever do, because you're just hurting yourself. You're doing yourself a disservice. So that's why testing is paramount. Like I'd rather not send that email at all than send it and have question marks behind it. So test. So that's one great thing to do. But what I'm really referring to as far as testing is the technical testing, right? There's an episode that I released about email marketing. You can listen to that podcast episode here. I'm gonna go, actually, we're gonna do it right now. Email. When you can go to this website and just type, they will see a big search box, type in the keyword that you look for, and you'll get all the topics. So the last one we had was email marketing strategies. And he trademarked a patent? Yeah, he made a patent as well with this product. And this is this episode. How to achieve high email delivery doing this. I featured this guy, Nicholas Topper. I think he's in Silicon Valley. I featured him, and we had a great topic. And he introduced me to his platform. It's called Inbox Booster, right? Inbox Booster. You can listen to it. You can check it out, and it allows you to detect and know where people's emails go. As far as like, does it go to Gmail? Does it go to Outlook? Am I saying too many spammy words? Am I using too many pictures? Is my text to, HTML ratio high? Is it low? Like, we start getting very technical with those questions. So it was a high level conversation we had. This guy's a genius. He created a patent and it's doing well for him. So I now registered with it. And if you need more information so that you can sign up, please reach out to me and I'll talk to him so that you can save some money too. He built this thing out. And every time I send an email now, I do testing. Like, I'll know that, okay, it's going to go, if I'm sending an email and we have an audience, I know that this audience is going to receive this email in Gmail or Outlook. Those are your ESPs, right? Your email service providers. So if you're thinking about an email marketing success strategy, now that I know my audience is looking for email marketing tips or email marketing help, I can bring that as an episode. I can bring that as a podcast. What you've just experienced today is, I don't do this all the time. So I was like, I kind of did an inception on you guys today. I spoke, I played a podcast episode I recorded 15 minutes before coming here through a web browser. And that was a post from LinkedIn, which was originated from Threads. So, and I've said, I'm going to send it now as an email, which is going to come back to Google. And I'm going to go through Pinterest, which is also going to end up on Reddit. So by the time you've looked, and then of course it will end up on YouTube too, and Apple, Spotify, and all the other platforms for podcasting. What am I saying? We've just integrated this marketing approach, because it's an approach, right? How are you approaching the situation? How are you showing up? How are you positioning yourself? How are you placing your content? How are you practicing what you're saying? Where are you placing those things? So that's what we've been able to do. And it started off with an AI prompt. It started off with a thought. I said, hey, let me ask this question. Boom. That's what happened. So if you want to know more about that, please join the masterclass. If you're serious about your business, if you want to save time, money, and energy, I've started out this masterclasses, these workshops, and shout out to you, Brian, because Brian and Shoma were in a room one time. It was earlier this month or early this month or late last month. And, Brian asked a question about, hey, we should talk about this. We should actually do some more, workshops on this. And I said, you know what? I'm actually going to do that. And I said, saying it is saying it, but doing it is different. So I decided to go ahead and do it, set it up, and we have people actually signed up to the workshop. The link above, you will see that, and we have a limited number of people. So once it hits that cap number, it's done. And I want it to be a very, tight audience, because by the time you're done, technically we're going to have 90 minutes of high level engagement. That's going to save you 90 days of research. So I'm going to help you with these AI tools, give you the structure, the layout, have the whole SEO roadmap for you. And you're going to see how it's going to work for your business, how you're going to have high email success rates, have high SEO success rates, have high podcast distribution. Because one thing about podcasting is it's not that your podcast is not being heard, it's not been positioned to be heard. Because if you position your podcast on RSS feeds that have depth, then you can actually enter markets that have shares within different stations that you can actually tap into, because you've been able to connect your feed authentically. So there are ways I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So this approach is big, and it's up to you to take that action. It's up to you. So the link is above. Click the link, sign up. It's $47. We're going to be here. If you don't miss out on this. I don't think I'm ever going to do this type of workshop. I'll be doing other workshops. I've already started creating calendars for that. But this specific one, I'm getting tools. I have about, let me go to my list, because I already have this presentation ready for you. Like, I'm so pumped about this. Like, by the time you're done with this, you'll be like, what did I just get into? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 links or 7 tools out of our toolbox. We have a lot of them. So I picked 7, the top 7, right? Because 7 is perfection, right? 7. I picked 7, and one of them is Web3. So you're also going to learn how to intellectually protect your data. Yeah, you can go on YouTube Live, Facebook Live, TikTok Live, but do you own that platform? No. Do you own your time? No. God does, but you own the time that you spend, right? So when you connect with the people that you're connecting with, have a place that you can actually connect with them at a deep level, so that you can also protect your assets, right? You can post online nowadays, but Web3 is coming. Web3 is here. People don't really talk about it, but it is here. I'm going to show you how to enter Web3 with SEO and with applied AI knowledge. So, and of course, that's coming up from the brain AI too. So I'm excited about that. Please click the link above and tap in. But today I wanted to show you this integrated approach, how it works, what I've described. A lot of things have been said, and I feel like I've already given you a lot just in this room alone, based on what we've created now. So does anyone have any question for me? Any suggestion, anything that they want to say? Feel free to put it in the chat, because I want to answer you within this next 6 minutes before we wrap up. I guess everybody's good. This is good. Okay, this is nice. It's very quiet. So I appreciate you all for being here. This has been a great room. I want you to listen to the replay, check out all the information that was said. I just did a whole SEO and podcast on you. So I wanted to show you in real time what it looks like to integrate. So when you think about the big picture, you're like, wow, so this is called omni-channel marketing? Yes, because it starts off with a thought from the ideation phase to the execution phase, right? And between those, there's a lot of things happening in the interim. So I'm glad you're able to learn something, take action, and charge yourself forward and be that person that can help. We're only a few people in this room, but imagine how many people we can impact in the world. We're 10 people in this room. Imagine what 10 of us can do. Now 11. Welcome, Teja. So you want to think about the power of 10. So 10 to the power of 10 is what? That number to the power of 10 is what? Then what? So you keep building, and it keeps growing. Now for me, with these 5 topics, I'm doing a case study on this AI itself. Before I even do an article on the AI tools we're talking about, I want to make sure I've grasped everything, but this thing is, I don't even use 95% of this thing's powerful, I don't even want to go too far. There are so many commands that by the time you're done using this thing, you're like, what is going on here? Like, you can learn so much, build a case study, do a report, do a spreadsheet, do a generative AI. Like, I don't even want to go too far into that, but All I'm saying is help is here. If you need the help, we're here to help you. And if you want to be helped, then that help will be granted unto you, and you'll be able to learn more about how you can save time and money and also energy, because that could be very stressful. I know how stressful that can be. That's why I'm so passionate about this, because I know not everybody is, ready to take that action. But when you do take that action and you do it correctly, the right people will find you in the right sources. So thank you all so much for joining. Appreciate you, Chioma, Keith, Liverpool's finest, Gemma, Empress, Austin, America's Supermom, and also Alexandra. Appreciate you all for being here. Have a blessed Taco Tuesday. So I'm going to see you guys in the next room. And I'll be here at 12 p.m. Central. And we're going to talk about it a little bit more, because I know it's very early in the morning. Very early in the morning, so not everyone is awake. I've been up since 4 a.m. So I kick off my day early. And I said, let me help a few people in the morning, and I'll be back here again in the afternoon. So catch y'all soon. Yeah. Yes, Keith.
So, Favour, I just kicked off a new business platform for entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and anybody that wants to skyrocket their marketing. 25 tools in one place. So if you wouldn't mind, I'd appreciate your feedback on it. The link's in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you. I will look at that, and then I'll give you feedback on the back end, because I would have to audit the whole site if that's what you wanted me to do, or just look at
It's just one page to look at, but I was interested in what other colleagues have to say.
Thank you, everyone. Bye, and God bless you all. See you guys in the next few hours. If you have reached this point of the episode, I just want to say thank you so much for listening to the We Don't Play podcast show. I hope this has helped you, given you some insight, because every time I come on here, or anytime I bring somebody on here, a guest, a speaker, anyone that is of relevance to you listening, is always going to give you educational value, definitely entertainment value, and most importantly, empowerment value. So thank you for listening to the We Don't Play podcast show every day. And if you want to reach out to me, you know where to find me. Click the links in the description, or go to info@playinc.online, info@playinc.online, and book a call. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk SEO. Let's talk marketing. Let's talk business. Let's talk scaling. And I look forward to meeting you and learning more about you and your business. Till we meet in the next episode, have a blessed evening. Have a blessed day, night, wherever you are in the world. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Bye for now. And don't forget, Jesus loves you.